Hello lovelies! So today I wanted to do sort of a photography show and tell video for you guys. As you may have seen, I've already have a photography video on my channel about the thunderstorms that were going on in July, and I will link that video somewhere on the screen for you guys so you can check that out if you'd like. This video is mainly going to be about my black and white film photography class and the photographs that I took in it for all the projects. It's been about a year since I actually took this class, and I kind of wanted to commemorate it by showing you guys my photos. Although I don't feel personally that I'm very artistic, I did really enjoy this class and getting to connect with my classmates. I got to meet a whole lot of artists that are on campus, which is pretty cool since I'm in the science lab most of the time. I don't get to meet people from different majors and see what it's like to be kind of an art student, because I always was fascinated by artists. And as you can see, I like to draw and paint and everything else, but to actually be an art student, I've always wondered what that was like. So it was really cool getting to connect with them. I also really love this class because it helped me connect with my grandpa. As some of you may know, I really love my grandpa, and I love connecting with him in any different way that I can. And it was really cool being able to use his camera to actually do this class and to really talk to him about film photography, because obviously when he was getting into photography it was film photography. So it was really neat, like, having him work with me to try and produce photos that turn out really well, and hearing his experience with film photography and how he compares that now to digital photography. So it was really cool to be able to connect with him on that level and do something that he used to do and most people don't do anymore. Although I just enrolled in this class just to fill a fine arts requirement, I really enjoyed the class, and I found a great appreciation for film photography. I feel like the students in the digital age, now we take pictures all the time. It's no big deal. If we don't like it, we just delete it and we can just take another one. However, in film photography, you only have so many photos that you can take on each roll of film, and then you don't know if you did it right until after you've developed it and all that. So it's a pretty strenuous process, and then when you see the negative, you don't know how well it's going to print, and you print it, and then you go, oh, part is too light, this part's too dark, we got to do this and that. And even if you try and print the same photo twice and doing the same procedure and everything, sometimes it can still just turn out different. There's so many ways that it can get messed up, so it really makes every photograph and every print very special and unique. You're most likely not going to get the same photograph twice unless you record all your settings and you just happen to get lucky. So it was really quite a different experience, and taught me to be very considerate about how I'm taking pictures and whatnot. And I really loved it, and I would recommend it for any of you that need to fill a fine arts requirement, just trying to take a film photography class. It's a lot of frustration and it's a little expensive, but it really makes you slow down and think and really appreciate the photographs that you're taking, And I don't know, I really thought it was cool. Film photography is so beautiful, and I don't know, even though my images aren't the best, I still feel really proud of them just because of all the work I put into them. And I don't know, I really love the images and the kind of analog beauty of film photography. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I try to give a short description of each of my photographs, but I tried not to make it too long, so it's pretty short and sweet, and I hope you like it. Anyway, please leave a comment down below about your experiences with photography or film photography, or what you like about my photographs, what you don't like about my photographs, any critique at all. I'd be happy to read and reply to you guys. And please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye!
So my first project was self-portrait, and I entitled it Sides of Me. This first portrait was just of me as I was taking a picture with my digital camera. Unfortunately, I couldn't print it very well, so my skin tone kind of blended in with the pale brick wall behind me. My next portrait was from a 24-hour portrait assignment where we had to take a portrait of ourselves every hour for 24 hours. As you can see, this one was pretty close to the end. I got kind of lazy and I was really tired. My next portrait was just how I'm a reflection of my family. I wanted to show that by my grandpa taking a picture and me showing him in the reflection of my family mirror and our family home. So I am a reflection of my family and their passions and their love and care. This one is about ballet. I love to dance, but unfortunately I can no longer do that. I still love ballet, so I would symbolize that by the ribbons being in the formation of a heart. However, I did want to show the separation with that space in between. This is me just as I'm looking up a tree to kind of symbolize my respect and my love for the environment and nature itself. This next one is of my fiance. We've been together for almost 8.5 years now, and he was my childhood best friend, and he has shaped me in so many ways that I can't even count. So I can't really define myself without having bits and pieces of him in it too. This one is just about my insecurities. I've had a lot of body and intelligence issues since I was really young, so I wanted to symbolize that with the never good enough, and I wanted to make it kind of look like scars because it has scarred my past. My next project was documentary, and I entitled it Urban Art. So my first form of urban art was graffiti. I decided to take a picture of this graffiti train, and I love how it said art in the corner. I didn't even notice that until I printed it, but I thought it was very beautiful, and sometimes graffiti, even though it's illegal, can be very artistic and beautiful. This one is about tattoo. I love body art, and I love how you can express yourself through tattoos. And so I wanted to photograph that as a part of my urban art series. My next form of art is sculpture. A local tire place welded this guy together, and I just thought he was so cute, and he kind of symbolized how you can be creative with even just junk laying around. My next photograph is just of a face that the art students put together. It was just drains in the wall, and they were creative enough to use, ruin negatives to make a cute little face out of him, and he just greeted you every time you came in the lab, so I thought it was very cute and artistic. And this is a classmate where she is dusting off her negative and trying to load it in the negative slide. I just was in photography, and of course that counts as art as well. My next project was narrative, and my first narrative is called Breaking the Chain. I did this about racism and the current riots that were going on about a year ago, which are still happening in Baltimore here. So this is just defining racism as it was in the past, slavery of African Americans in America. And then this is our present. It seems like we're locked in hatred and racism, and I feel like racism and hatred are kind of a stronger chain than the chains that were actually used to enslave African Americans. And then my next one is trying to symbolize what could be the future if we learn to love and accept each other as we are, not for skin color or any trivial thing like that. As you can see, the handcuffs still hang, as so will our history, but we will be friends. My next narrative is entitled The Photographer. My friend Megan was taking a picture of me and my dog in a photo shoot for her narrative, so I wanted to kind of show the behind the scenes in the life of a photographer. So here's her as she had carried all this equipment and everything to this park, over a mile to try and find great scenery and lighting. Here's her with her laser focus trying to take, photographs of my dog in the cage. And I just thought it was really neat to kind of see the behind the scenes. My next project was fabrication, and I entitled it Daydreams and Nightmares. My first nightmare is kind of about my personal nightmares, where I am portrayed as a rude, evil, violent, vulgar twin in some of my dreams, and it's quite shocking the difference of how she is in my personality. This one was a multi-print of skeletons. I kind of wanted to symbolize how sometimes we are putting our heads down and just trying to hustle so much and look forward to our next person, trying to compete with them so much that we don't realize that how much life has gone by. This one I was trying to channel my inner Criminal Minds fanatic and tried to show a serial killer as he's looking down upon his victim. Next was a photograph of my grandma's doll. I wanted it to symbolize kind of that nostalgia of remembering childhood and being carefree as a child. My next daydreamed kind of a photo was of my grandpa looking in the mirror and seeing his military photo back at him, so to symbolize his nostalgia about being in the military and being a Marine. My next kind of section is just fabrication tests where we tested out different techniques. First, this is a picture of a tree that I took while laying down on the ground, just me looking up at the tree, and I used that print to make a negative print, and as you can see the right side's a bit fuzzy, which I thought added to the artistic effect of it. This one was just a picture of some fallen flowers in fall as they died, and I painted on developer, which is why it's pretty uneven and kind of dreamlike. I used that photo to use for a transparency overlay. I put a vulture over it as if it's standing on the branch to kind of symbolize how in fall things begin to die. This one I did a multiple exposure where I just flashed a flashlight on my face in different positions, and I thought it gave like an ominous evil entity kind of look, very creepy. So that is all. I wanted to give a special thanks to Angela Leaf and her client for allowing me to photograph their tattoo session at Fallen Leaf, and a special thanks to my family and friends for allowing me to do photo shoots with them, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.